What the shit, Batman? Every once in a while, a game comes along, takes you completely by surprise, totally out of left field. This is one of those games. It's called Jetcar Stunts. Little independent game on the Xbox One. Not super fancy. It's just flat shaded graphics. Looks very basic. Probably created in somebody's basement by one genius dude. Combines basically a whole lot of things that I love. Platforming, racing games, flight sims, sort of throws it into a Trials HD package, and the car you get into is basically shaped like an F1 car. How can you go wrong? So without further ado, alright, this is it. The controls are a little bit more complicated than you might at first think, so you probably want to try out the tutorials to teach you how to do it. Because in addition to your regular gas and brake on the face buttons, you also have the jet propulsion on the right trigger and the air brake on the left trigger. Now this is all pretty self-explanatory when you're on a flat surface and just driving, but when you're flying, it gets a little bit more complicated as to whether or not you want to make fine adjustments as to your pitch and your yaw and roll with the left stick, and or adding the air brake. And that makes things a little bit more complex. Basically, the way it works is how you might expect. If you make minor adjustments with the left stick while you're in the air, you'll make minor adjustments to your car's position. However, if you add in the air brake, it makes the adjustments much more instantly noticeable. However, the trade-off is that you slow down tremendously, and you could lose enough speed to where you don't make it to the next platform. Which is also helpful, actually, if you're going a little bit too fast and you're about to hit an object and you need to slow down. You'll want to go ahead and actually apply those air brakes to get yourself slowed down enough to drop underneath whatever it is obstacle you're trying to avoid. Learning when and how to do that, however, is a little bit more difficult. Another thing you'd want to do, ideally, is before each jump, you want to kind of get the car under control and really line yourself up for your next target. Because the adjustments that you make in the air are really not as controllable as they are when you're on the ground. Basically, when you're in the air and you're trying to turn left or right, you're not really turning left or right. You're tending to roll the car, which is not helpful really much at all. But there are certain instances where you can't really afford to slow down your car and line up your next jump, because you need to carry enough momentum to actually make it to the next platform. So figuring out when you need to do that, how you need to do it, and judging your distances is a little bit tougher than you might think. Obviously, these near-perfect runs are the result of many trial and error attempts. It's clearly not as easy as it looks here. And that's basically Jetcar Stunts. Simple, fun, but a little bit more complex under the surface when you start digging in. But honestly, for this game that looks this simple, there's no reason some genius couldn't have figured out how to do this on the N64, 15, 20 years ago and gotten filthy fucking rich off of it. But, hey, what can I say? Better late than never. And a $5 download for an Xbox One, like a sore dick, you just can't beat it. It's Jetcar Stunts, people. Just buy it. Just shut up and buy it. Get off of YouTube. Fucking buy it.